Started out with a regular baby shad, and the baby shad was just a little lure that had a straight tail, and that little tail, as it jiggles, you can't hold it still, but it works best when you're fishing it straight down. So the stiller you're trying to hold your rod, the more that little tail's shaking, the more bites you get. But with the baby shad swimmer, I took it one step farther. I put this little paddle tail on the end of it. Exact same baby shad, same size, everything about it. I just did a few extra things to it. We put a little cut in the tail right here. I put a little slot in the bottom end to hold some scent so we could put some slab jam in it. We squared this paddle off and made it where it sits exactly perpendicular up and down. So there it made it work at a really, really slow speed. And this little tiny paddle on the back of this thing, if you move that the slightest bit in the water, that little paddle is just dragging like crazy. It's sitting on it. So that's what I did with the baby shad swimmer. And probably my favorite lure right now is called the Slab Hunter. This thing has a double paddle on the bottom of it. So now it gets a back and forth swimming action, and it has a fish shape. We put some little ribs on the bottom so that as it comes over a limb, it gets a little vibration. These ribs catch water to send out vibration as it's coming through the water. So this is a fantastic lure if you're in any kind of current or if you're just cast it out. And even on casting, it doesn't have to be out a long way. Sometimes I only cast it out there 10 feet, let it go down and let it swim back to me. And then as it comes in, it stops, then you kind of got a little jig and right underneath you. It's just a perfect swimming action.
The Slab Slayer has a cup tail, solid body, so the solid body holds that head extremely well. Comes in a 2 and a 3 inch size. This is the 3 inch that I'm holding here, but you know, even trying to hold that tail perfectly still, it's constantly moving. And what's unique about this bait, if you rig it one way with the cup side down like I have it facing here, it becomes more of a vertical jigging bait because as it falls, that tail's flapping. Now watch what happens when I turn it over. Notice how it straightens that tail up. So now the convex surface is underneath and it makes it more of a gliding bait. So you rig it with the hook coming up and the cup facing up, then you have more of a gliding bait out of the Slab Slayer. The stroller features the Bobby Garland baby shad body, a special really big thumping kicking tail on it. Now this was designed primarily for trolling and casting. The long liners, this is by far the most preferred long lining bait that is used for trolling for crappie. Spider riggers like it. The long liners especially like it because it has so much kick, a lot of vibration, a lot of noise from that thumping tail as you pull it. And in this particular item, we're able to have body tail color combinations as well as laminates as well as solids.
Crappie shooter, originally designed for dock shooting. This bait also works extremely well on any kind of structure in the lake as a jigging bait. The way that thing is designed to be rigged up flat, it falls crazy. It's got a concave bottom on one side that makes it fall in a circle, and if you turn it over and hook it on the other side, it falls more side to side. Either way, it mimics a dying bait fish. It's really a unique bait, and very few people use it at this purpose for fishing in brush or around stumps, any kind of structure other than boat docks.
Another really cool bait is the Bobby Garland Pile Diver. Now it's called a pile diver because this particular bait was designed specifically for fishing in and around brush piles. And it's probably one of the most versatile baits that we have in the Bobby Garland product lineup because, as you can see, it's got a lot of features to it. First of all, it has a solid body. The body does have ribs on it, and then you've got two little stubby arms on either side, and then you've got long twin tail legs. Now if you look at the little stubby arms, each of those has a little swim foot on it, and foot is facing inward instead of away because you want that to separate, but you also want it to stay close to the body and vibrate frequently. Now the swim tail itself, you can see that at rest is pretty much a heart shape, but they're long, thin, streamer-like legs that also have the little foot on the tip of them, so they've got a real good, easy swimming action to it. Now the ribs on the body will provide more vibration to the bait, and especially when it comes into contact with one of those limbs on that brush pile or some other type of structure, whether it's a rock or stump or whatever it might be. But all in all, this profile will take on a lot of different shapes. When it's swimming, it's very elongated. When it's at rest, it's very compact. And if you're vertical jigging it, obviously it's changing the action dramatically on it. So the pile diver might just be another good profile option for you.